You know, there's only two groups of people in the world. There's some people who know that they're prejudiced, and then there's the people who don't know that they're prejudiced. Because prejudice is something that we're born with. It's how we make sense of the world, trying to put everyone and everything in little boxes and giving value to those that are in each box. It's part of the way that we're born. It's part of the sin problem, and it's part of the selfishness that's inside of every one of us. We feel safer when we're prejudiced, and that's just part of our warped and twisted way of thinking. In recent times, I've been doing some advertising on Facebook for these brilliant daily devotionals that we have via email. And what I've noticed is that when I have a picture of a black person in the advertisement, then only a quarter to a third of the people who would normally respond if I had a picture of a white person will actually respond and engage and sign up for the daily devotionals. And this is a Christian audience, so this is what I'm saying. Prejudice is part of every single one of us. You know, I'm sure, and there's been all these studies done, that if you're tall and blonde and blue-eyed, then, you know, you get ahead more in life. It's not only on your merits and your skills and abilities, and I've seen it in corporate life many times as well. You know, in terms of prejudice, Jesus tells us through the Bible, he tells us that his cross has demolished the racial barriers that exist between us. He's talking specifically about the Jewish race and the rest, the Gentiles as they were called. And what he's saying is that the cross of Jesus Christ has removed the walls and made us all into one people. And the cross of Jesus does that in two ways. The first way in which it does that is because it shows us that we're all the same. It shows us the depth of our need. It shows us that we are all sunk so deep in sin that there is no hope for us unless it is for God who has sent Jesus Christ into this world to be our helper, our saviour, our redeemer. And the second way that it shows us about prejudice is how prejudice can be overcome with love. You see, my friend, there's no second or third class seats at Calvary. We all have a front row seat. There's no distinctions between us, no matter how old we are, young we are, what race we belong to, what country we're born in, our level of education. It doesn't matter. The cross makes us all one, because as a result of what Jesus did at Calvary, we are all born again into one people, the children of God. There God shows us how much he loves us. We don't get our meaning and our identity anymore because we're white or black or Asian, or because we're tall or short, or because we're educated or uneducated. We get our identity, meaning and purpose and value in life because the Son of God has loved us and died for us and called us into his heavenly kingdom. He's called us his child.